think everybody's still in shock.
Yeah,
Dillian
me
White,
too.
he was winning. He was winning. He was beating Povetkin, and unfortunately, I believe Povetkin was he's a gold medalist. You have to put that into perspective. Eventually, there's a reason why they're gold medalists. Their boxing IQ is up there. They're smart. Eventually, if you keep doing the same old song and dance and don't mix it up, they're gonna pick it up. And he picked up on what Dillian White was doing. Feinted with the hit him with the jab. Dillian White missed because that's what he's been doing. Moves to the I believe he moved to the left. What he's been doing, tried to go for the body and then come up with the hook, and that's when Povetkin got him. Same much like the same what he did to Anthony Joshua. But Joshua was able to hold his ground when that happened. Joshua tucked his chin in. I just finished watching Povetkin versus Joshua, and Joshua was able to. Joshua is also a gold medalist, an experienced one. So he did the same. Joshua was able to hold his ground, and finish off Povetkin. Dillian White was winning. All he had to do was take Povetkin out. He dropped Povetkin. All he had to do was take him out, and unfortunately, he couldn't do it. Honestly, I believe he got cocky. Dillian White got cocky. I had to tell you, he absolutely got cocky. He he all he had to do was just take him out. But I believe he wanted to show Anthony Joshua. Oh, this I could tell you so many factors in that, man. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing to this guy is what I'm gonna do. You got to look at it. He was beating Povetkin. He was slowing him down. Povetkin was feeling those body shots. You know, Dillian White got cocky. He was not humble. Povetkin tried to give him a, like, hey, good, good round, good round. Dillian White brushed him off. You should never do that to an experienced fighter, an old fighter like that. Povetkin got up, did what he had to do, and gave him the best he could, and dropped him and KO'd White. And that is White's kryptonite. That uppercut is White's kryptonite, no matter what. And that took care of him. And that was the end of that. White's not gonna go in there in the rematch and do it again. He knows what he has to do. You know, and unfortunately, the him being the mandatory now is on hold because either or he's the mandatory, but he's the mandatory in the all the way, like, basically he's gonna have to wait till Joshua and Fury have their goal, or Joshua and Wilder have their goal, before he can have his goal. Because right now it's basically saying, oh, he just started the mandatory over again if he beats Povetkin. He's just been appointed mandatory all over again. So it's a lose-lose situation for White. Unfortunately, and that's the way it is, man.
Kind of crazy. Why? I mean, I watched some, videos, some reactions to it yesterday to his loss, and a lot of Joshua fans are kind of sympathizing with White and understand the effect of losing. You know what I mean? How it is, how it hurts, to see someone you like lose like that. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of crazy to see Wilder's fans attacking in a way and kind of mocking him, even though Wilder lost in a devastating fashion. You know, this was like a one punch knockout of compared to Wilder one. Like Wilder is, I like Wilder. You know, what I mean, like he's a Nigerian. I'm supporting him for sure. But his fans are just deluded sometimes. He lost already. You should be concerned about Wilder reclaiming his throne, which is not going to be easy, which I don't know if he can because the Boston skills is not there. Why do you think Water fans are kind of misbehaving like that? Let me let our brother Robbie Taylor come in. Robbie Taylor, are you there, bro?
I'm here, my man. How are you doing?
Good, brother. Like, first of all, what's the reaction to Dillian White's loss to Perky, bro?
Listen, and greetings to Ty as well, and Emmett if he's on as well. I was shocked actually. I was shocked at the way it happened. It happened very quickly, very suddenly. I don't think anyone was expecting it at that time. Going into the fight, everyone knew Povetkin was a dangerous guy and one to be wary of because, like Dillian Whyte has a good left hook, um, and so does Povetkin. But I had a feeling going into this fight that something was going to go wrong for Dillian Whyte. And I said before that in round seven, I said round seven, it turned out to be round five, but I said that I think Dillian Whyte is going to get sloppy, um, because I sort of gathered that he would probably be a bit fresh for Povetkin. He would probably work him to the body, and Povetkin would probably become a bit discouraged. This is what I was thinking in my head, and this is what happened. And I think what was going to happen is that Dillian Whyte would become a little complacent, a little, oh, I've got this fight in the bag, and he would leave himself at some stage open, and Povetkin would not be as finished as Dillian Whyte thought he was finished, and he would get caught. And this is exactly what happened yesterday. I was very shocked at the suddenness of it, though, because I don't think anyone saw it coming. However, going into this fight, there was a lot wrong, and I don't think for a minute this was the best Dillian Whyte we have seen. But I knew going into this fight things were wrong, and I say that because of an interview I saw, with a very brief interview. I don't know if it's still on YouTube or if they've taken it down, but the way his former trainer Mark Tibbs was talking, I said to myself, this doesn't sound good. Dillian Whyte, Mark Tibbs has already said that he was ringing Dillian Whyte when he was out in Portugal, and no one was returning his calls. This is not good. This is your trainer here, and you're preparing for a very big and very dangerous fight, and you're not returning your trainer's calls. And then the next thing your trainer hears is from your lawyers to say that your services aren't required anymore. So now he has a new camp, a new set of guys working with him going into this fight. Guys he's not worked with, I don't believe, before, and guys who don't know what it's like to train him in a world title fight. So I didn't think all was well going into the fight. And Dillian Whyte, if I remember rightly from the fight, he was doing a workman-like performance. He was slowing Povetkin down. He was hitting to the body good, and Povetkin was feeding those shots. But Dillian Whyte didn't seem to have that fire that I saw, like in the Chisora fight, in the Joseph Parker fight. And I wonder where his mind was at, really. He was going through the motions. He had even Povetkin hurt. I don't know if he dropped him twice in the 4th or he dropped him just once, but he had him hurt.
He dropped him twice in the 4th round.
And you would think he would just go for him.
The second...
Don't give the guy time to recover, but he didn't do this.
1 minute, brother. 1 minute.
It was twice, okay.
The second knockdown was, of course, like a wrap. I thought Dillian Whyte had it at that time. I thought in the 5th round he was just gonna break Povetkin down more.
I thought so too.
So what went wrong?
Yeah. I thought he would have taken him out in the 4th because Povetkin looked... Well, you have to go back to the preparation for the fight. Dillian Whyte didn't look the same fiery Dillian Whyte that we have seen before. And yet he's been in camp for all these months in Portugal. So where was the fire? You see, this was the wrong time to be making changes in your camp, I think. You're going into a fight like this, you need familiarity, people who have been around you, people who know how to motivate you and get you up for the fight. It looked to me like it just wasn't there. And what a bad time for it just not to be there. Because even though he had the guy in hurt and all but done, I wonder how many rounds Povetkin could really have lasted because he was feeling those shots, but it just didn't seem to be there. Something didn't seem to be right. I'm not just saying this because he lost it. He just didn't look the same Dillian Whyte um, for that I've seen before. Also, I would like to say Dillian Whyte leading up to this fight, a couple of things. He had on his shirt maximum violence, and he was saying leading up to the fight, I'm just waiting to go in there and cause havoc and blah, blah, blah. But if you look at those 4 rounds and the 5th round up until he was beaten, he didn't look like he was causing maximum violence to me. A man who is looking to cause maximum violence is a man that's throwing serious punches from the opening bell and the other guys under fire. This didn't look like maximum violence to me. You see, but okay. Another thing I would like to say about Dillian Whyte, he said this week just gone, a few days before the fight, that in an interview that he knew Anthony Joshua was going to be there and doing the commentary, or he was going to be around the fight. And he said if Anthony Joshua make any moves toward him, he's just going to come swinging. And I'm thinking, why are you talking like that? Why would you think Anthony Joshua would come and make any moves toward you? Anthony Joshua Anthony Joshua hasn't got you on his mind. Anthony Joshua has a mandatory in December, and then he's looking to fight for the undisputed later next year. He hasn't got any beef with you, but yet you have Anthony Joshua on your mind. You see, when you should be concentrating on Povetkin. That's what I think regarding last night's fight. I personally don't know how it's going to go in the rematch because I think he has made changes in this camp when there didn't need to be any changes. I think he and Mark work well. Why he's made those changes, he's never really come out and said. But if he felt something was wrong, I don't know what he felt was wrong because listening to Mark Tibbs didn't feel there was anything wrong. But now I don't think he can go back to Mark Tibbs because of the way I've left him. You see, and he has to stick with these new guys or bring in another set of guys. And this is all wrong. As I said in the previous videos with yourself, Ray, this guy have a history of doing crazy moves that make no sense whatsoever. And this one now have cost him another victory. He have been badly knocked out. And if he's not careful, now Povetkin is going to go into this fight confident, knowing that Dillian is open to that shot. He's going to throw it more. He's got to be careful he don't get knocked out again. And all for what? Because I don't know if he's trying to copy Tyson Fury and say, well, if Tyson Fury can change his trainer, so can I. Look, Tyson Fury, he knew what Deontay Wilder was all about. So if he wants to make a change, then okay, he can make the change because he knows what Deontay Wilder brings to the table. Dillian Whyte had no idea what Povetkin brought to the table from the point of view of him sharing a ring with him. He obviously he knows of background, but he didn't know personally how Povetkin fights. Because this was the wrong time to be making changes in your camp, and it have lived to haunt him now. And I had a bad feeling this was going to happen. If you look at the comments on your pages, Ray, if you look back to yesterday, what I said round 7 that he's going to leave himself open and get caught, and it turned out to be round 5 that he did this. And when he had the guy hurt in round 4, he seemed to be thinking, what do I do here? Where instinctively you would look to finish the guy. Don't give him time to recover. But you see again, if that was Chisora he was in there with a few years ago, he would have finished Chisora off. But you see, that Dillian Whyte seemed to not be there last night. That is my take on what happened yesterday.
And how about the Deontay Wilder fans kind of mocking and attacking Dillian Whyte and saying that he waited for 1,000 days, to get knocked out like that, he like he prepared. What does that even make sense? Because Wilder lost
Yep,
terribly the
yep.
last time,
W-
out. So what do you make
Well,
of that, bro?
listen, what I want to say, Deontay Wilder fans are the happiest people. Just like Deontay Wilder was happy. Deontay Wilder and his fans were the happiest when Anthony Joshua lost in Madison Square Gardens on June 1st, 2019. They were the happiest. Why? Because Deontay Wilder don't have to fight him now. You see, that's and it delayed the fight with them being made. And anything for Deontay Wilder to not have to fight anyone that's any good, it pleases his fans, you see. And it pleases Deontay Wilder, and he's the fighter. They are pleased that Dylan White got lost. Sorry, they are pleased that Dylan White lost yesterday because they knew that if Deontay Wilder beat Tyson
But
Fury, the WBC have already
Deontay Wilder
said
just
the first
lost. He
defense
just lost a
of
lot ago
whoever wins
terribly.
that fight has to be against Dillian White. And Deontay Wilder have been avoiding Dillian White for years. Deontay Wilder lost, but Deontay Wilder don't want to fight Dillian White. He don't want to fight Dillian White because he don't want to fight anyone who can hit hard or who have any credibility. And so far, Dillian White have it's been a good few years since Dillian White have lost the fight. And Dillian White have, even though you may want to make a slight question mark about the opponents he have been knocking a lot of them out. And Deontay Wilder just want to coast, keep the belt around his waist. He don't want to fight no one. He even sent Dillian White a message on his personal message to say, "I'm gonna freeze you out." Who does that? Which champion have you ever known do that? But yet Deontay Wilder did this because he and Shelley Winkle don't want to fight. They don't want to match Deontay Wilder with anyone capable of beating him. This is the same reason they've avoided the Anthony Joshua fight. They've avoided Joshua like he had the COVID-19. That's how they've avoided him. They don't want to fight these guys, you see. And they're happiest now because it have delayed the inevitable. But the only way it will come back to haunt, you see, Deontay Wilder should be concerned about getting his belt back. And I don't know if he can, personally. I think Tyson Fury is going to beat him again. And then where does that leave Deontay Wilder? He have already turned down 100 million dollars from the Zone. He's turned down numerous offers from Eddie Hearn to make the Joshua fight, all because he and his handlers don't want this. Years ago, Eddie Hearn offered Shelley Winkle. They offered him and Al Heyman 5 million to fight on a Joshua undercard in London, and he turned that down. Right? Nobody knew who Deontay Wilder was at that time. Then Eddie Hearn increased the offer to 8 million, and they turned that down as well. At that time, Al Heyman was paying Deontay Wilder £1 million, $1 million a fight, and yet he's turning down 5 million and then 8 million, all because they know Deontay Wilder is a limited fighter. He has a big punch, but he's still limited. Twice, Andy Lee and Dillian Whyte were in camp with Deontay Wilder and witnessed Vladimir Klitschko stop the guy in sparring. And they know the guy's chin is limited, and they know his ability is limited. He have only got through being champion this long because he have a big punch. And no one has ever negated that punch except for Tyson Fury. And I think this is what is going to happen again. So they don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. They're happy that Dillian Whyte got knocked out, and they're hoping that he get knocked out again, so that it takes the WBC a long time to make Povetkin the mandatory. Because all Wilder and his fan base are avoiders. They have no intention of fighting anybody any good. The only reason they took the Tyson Fury fight was because they wanted to avoid fighting Anthony Joshua. That's my take on Deontay Wilder and his fangirls.
I mean, I like Deontay Wilder. I mean, I support him now because I found out that he's Nigerian. You know, what I mean, it's got 30% Nigerian name. So, but his fans are just deluded. They make me wanna like start. They make me wanna start going. They make me wanna start going hard on him again. But I don't want to go hard on him again because he's a brother. Now,
Well,
Dillian Whyte.
the thing is, Ray, the guy's a
Continue, bro.
Nigerian. Okay, I understand that. I understand the support
He's
for
got.
him from that
Listen, he's
aspect.
got.
Yes, he's done.
He's got 32% Nigerian name. You know, it's not like
Yeah, but
he's.
but is he showing or doing Nigeria his Nigerian heritage proud by behaving this and ducking fights? I don't think this is a character of Nigerians. Samuel Peter and other Nigerians would never behave this way. You see, it's good to support him, but at what point do you draw the line? The man is not showing his Nigerian heritage any credibility by behaving like this. The man have ducked Anthony Joshua, he have ducked Dillian Whyte for many years now, and made pure excuses. That is not good, I don't think.
Bro, you have to know that this guy grew up in America. Like his ancestors have been there for almost 300 years plus or something like that.
Look,
So
there many great fighters have come from America. Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier. These people would never conduct themselves the way Deontay Wilder is behaving. Ducking fighters, sending them messages telling them they're gonna freeze them out, they're not gonna fight them, turning down 100 million. You know, Joe Frazier was 5 times the fighter of Deontay Wilder, and Joe Frazier never made or even got offered 100 million. And here's this guy turning down money like that, all because he don't want to share a ring with the next champion. This is really disgraceful behavior. And you call yourself a heavyweight champion of the world. That to me, you have the belt, but you know you need to give that belt over to somebody who is a real boxing fighting man.
I understand though. So where does Dilawai go from here? Like where does he go from here, bro?
Well, the problem I think for Dillian White is he has to take the rematch because you see events have prolonged so long now for him to get to this stage of being the mandatory that if he doesn't take the rematch now and says, well, okay, well, look, I made mistakes. I need to take some easier fights and learn to do certain things different. It may take him forever to get back in a position where he can challenge for the title. You have to remember, you see, Anthony Joshua, the good man Anthony Joshua is. Now, he is a credit to Nigeria. This is a real credible, he's a credit to the entire population, this guy. He
Yeah,
offered Dillian White.
bro, you have to understand that Joshua's parents are Nigerians, you know, are direct sons of Nigerians. They are Nigerians.
Okay, cool. I understand.
Wilder's ancestors, you know, were taken. You know what I mean?
I
So you cannot
understand this.
compare. You
I
cannot compare.
understand.
Wilder grew
Okay.
up already in the American system as well. So you have to understand it's different.
Okay, fair enough. I get this. However, let me say, Anthony Joshua offered Dillian White an opportunity before he offered Jarrell Miller and before he offered Andy Ruiz Jr. the opportunities. Those two guys got the opportunities because Dillian White turned it down, you know. And Dillian White turned down 5 million to say he thought it was a low ball offer and he wasn't happy with a 50-50 split in the rematch. Now, where's Dillian White now? You think he's going to earn that kind of money anywhere else? No. But going back to your question, Ray, he has to take the rematch with Povetkin because if he doesn't, it will take him so long to get back to a position where you know he can challenge for this belt, and I don't think he has that amount of time. So he has to take the rematch and hopefully win, and then he can then put his name in the hat as a challenger for either the WBC or even for Anthony Joshua, but probably for the WBC is the route he would go down, I think. Whether he will beat Povetkin, I don't know. I worry. I have to say, I worry about this new system he's got in place and how it came about. I mean, because it just didn't seem right, Ray. And I don't know. We will have. I guess we'll have to wait till the next fight to see if it was just an error or what. But I think he has to take the fight, and he has to win for the sake of his career. He has to win.
Someone said yesterday that if Dillian Whyte lose the rematch, his career is over. Is it true or what?
I think it is as a credible heavyweight contender. Yes, it is and it depends also to some degree how he loses. If he gets knocked out again, I don't think Dillian Whyte really should fight again because he has had some hard fights with Chisora. The Joseph Parker fight, he nearly got stopped in the last round. Oscar Rivas had him down. You see, these kind of things, we may not understand what kind of effect it have had on Dillian Whyte behind closed doors. But I think if he does get knocked out again by Povetkin, which is now we know is a possibility, I think he should call it quits. Because let's be honest now, he gets knocked out again, and say Deontay Wilder is champion, and Dillian Whyte has a few fights, and then Deontay Wilder accepts his challenge, for example. Does Dillian Whyte really want to go in with a puncher like Deontay Wilder at this stage, having been knocked out? It would have been twice. I don't think so. Does he want to go, say, Tyson Fury is champion? You see, I think Tyson Fury, I don't really rate Tyson Fury that highly. But, you see, Tyson Fury could spoil the fight, hold, frustrate, and then go on to stop him. We don't know. I think Dillian Whyte, a lot will be made known when Dillian Whyte has this next fight with Povetkin. And I think a lot of questions we won't be able to answer until he has this fight. He did a lot of talking before this fight with Povetkin. You see, maximum violence. We didn't see maximum violence in any of those rounds from him. This is the truth.
Bro, you saw 2 knockdowns. But what do you mean by we saw maximum violence, 2 knockdowns?
We saw 2 knockdowns, but we didn't see Deontay Wilder. We didn't see Dillian Whyte come out aggressively, throwing punches. We didn't see Povetkin
the guy weighed about
252
pounds.
He weighed 18
right?
stone 6.
Yeah,
he
bro.
weighed 18 stone 6. Yeah, that's right.
252.4 pounds compared to Povetkin who weighed about 224 pounds. So Povetkin was ready for this fight. He was in shape. Dillian Whyte, his last fight before the Povetkin bout, we know it was against Marius Wack. Okay, it was he weighed about 280 something, and that fight he did better than than this one. I mean, I don't get it. I don't just get it how you can weigh less, but still, I like Dillian Whyte when it's 240 something, like 243 or 245 maximum. No more than that.
Look, something, as I said earlier, something didn't seem right with it just didn't seem right. The way Dillian Whyte fought yesterday is not the same he looked like he fought previously. And I don't know exactly what, but it just didn't seem the same way, you see. And as I said, some questions we will not be able to answer until he has the next fight. You see, this is my take, because I don't know what effect this has had on him. We won't know until the next fight, I guess.
Yeah, we will, bro. It's just like crazy. Now, what do you say about Joshua's, sportsmanship? When, of course, he spoke about, bro. Joshua is the king, brother. Oh my god, that's the king. That guy is a king. Look at the haters. Look at the hater go from the so-called right wing British right wing British right wing British. I don't want to use some word for it, some disgusting words for it, but right wing British guys. The guys that believe that Winston Churchill was, of course, a saint, even though he did some kind of rubbish stuff some people don't want to talk about. Now the guys are also back Tyson Fury. No matter what he does, he gets a pass. Now, despite that hate, Joshua's speech was Joshua and White are not friends. Okay, White was the first guy to call Joshua fake, the first guy to brand Joshua big Femi, the first guy that said Joshua is a road man but want to be humble. Okay, and yet Joshua kept it classy.
Of course.
While reacting to the fight, bro.
Of course. Because Joshua is a classy guy. Joshua is you can see, look, if anyone want to hear anything bad said about Joshua, it's no point talking to me. I'm telling you, everybody knows that. You see, because I'm a big Anthony Joshua fan. It's because of Anthony Joshua why British boxing and world heavyweight boxing is where it is today. Because of no one else. Because of Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, and Sky Sports. That's the three reasons why we have attention in the heavyweight division at this time. Deontay Wilder have lived off Anthony Joshua's name, and Tyson Fury is living off the back of Anthony Joshua's name as well. You see, Anthony Joshua have kept this thing classy. He could easily, Dillian Whyte haven't really said much good about Anthony Joshua. We know this. But Anthony Joshua don't need to come down to that level. Anthony Joshua is the unified heavyweight champion of the world. He have lost the belts and he have regained the belts. And he have beaten Dillian Whyte years ago. So he don't need to get into this madness and come down to this low level like where Dillian Whyte is coming from and where Deontay Wilder and his fangirls are coming from. Anthony Joshua is way above that. When Anthony Joshua fights, 90,000 people turn up. Whoever he fights. He don't need to. Who else can do this in the heavyweight division? No one. They have to fight.
Who else can do this in boxing?
Exactly.
Not in everything.
Exactly.
Who else can? Okay, you might say Canelo can do it in Mexico. Well, of course he can do it. He has the powers where to put that on. But other than Canelo and Anthony Joshua, who else can do it? I don't see
no one. No one else can do this.
But we have to understand that Canelo can only do it in Mexico and in America. I don't think he can do it outside America. Joshua did it in Saudi Arabia, brother. Joshua can easily go to Nigeria right now. Joshua can easily go to Nigeria right now and fight. 100,000 fans will be there to watch him. He can go to Kenya right now. He can go to South Africa. He can go to Australia. He can go to New Zealand. He can go to Poland and fight. He can even come here to Germany and fight. And 25,000 fans will want to watch him fight.
Look, if I'm imagining Anthony Joshua, and don't put it past Eddie Hearn to do this, you know. Look, because just the same way Don King years ago did the Rumble in the Jungle in the heart of Kinshasa, Zaire. Don't put it past the great Eddie Hearn, you know, to make a fight in Lagos, Nigeria, or somewhere, Ibadan, or one of those places in Nigeria. Can you imagine how much people...
How do you know about Ibadan?
Ibadan, Ilorin, Lagos.
How do you know about Ilorin and Ibadan? How do you know that?
This is what you think. You think I have friends? Listen, I'm just saying. Listen.
I have to be afraid of you guys, bro. I have to be afraid of you, bro. How did you know about Ibadan?
Listen, if he fought in Ilorin, it would shut the whole of Ilorin. Can you imagine? Oh my God, it would be total chaos. Oh my Lord. Can you imagine Lagos Airport when Anthony Joshua was fighting in Lagos? Oh my God. In fact, I don't think they should do that, you know, because I think it would be so much chaos. Because there would be so much people turn up to these places. I don't think it would be wise, really. But I'm just saying this is the kind of attention Anthony Joshua would command. Can you imagine he fought Tyson Fury in Lagos? Oh my Lord.
Bro,
oh,
Tyson Fury will be scared to fight in.
Listen, no, he would never agree to that. No, he would.
Tyson Fury will only fight in the UK or in America or maybe in Saudi Arabia. He would never want to
Yes.
step his foot in Nigeria to fight.
He
knows
would.
that
He would. No.
the crowd is going to be automatically against him. No matter how many British fans you bring, Nigerian fans will shut it down. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
No,
He would never.
I
He
mean,
would
no
never
doubt.
agree. No, look.
know?
If Deontay Wilder agreed to fight Anthony Joshua in Lagos, how many people would support Deontay Wilder in that crowd? Oh my God!
Listen, if Deontay Wilder and Joshua fight happens in Lagos or somewhere first, let's say in Abuja, if it happens, I believe that they're still gonna be, since Deontay Wilder has Nigerian blood in him. He's got 32% Nigerian in him. Some Nigerians are still gonna support him. You know what I mean? Are still gonna back him.
He would have more support than Fury, but no, he wouldn't have that much. I don't think he would have.
I don't think we have much like that, but we have more supporters than Fury for sure. Fury is a skillful boxer, but Fury will not be able to cope with the heat. When Nigerians start playing some drums. Like
oh my Lord!
Have you been to the Super Eagles football match when we play against other countries? Have you been there before? Like
no.
Bro, if you go there, like it is mad, bro. I tell you that.
It would be a mad night for Fury if he ever went there. I don't think he would go.
Fury can only fight in America where it's comfortable and where we get some protection. You know what I mean? And
I know
in the UK, nowhere. The guy's afraid. The guy's afraid of
running. No. I think last night was a crazy night, but you see, it shows us where Dillian Whyte, where his punch resistance is, I suppose, in a way, the change in camp. It shows us a few things, but as I say, the main questions I don't think we'll be able to answer until he has the next fight. Some people say we won't know, we won't be able to tell with Anthony Joshua until he fights his next fight, because some people were saying to me, well, the way he fought against Andy Ruiz Jr. in the rematch wasn't the real Joshua. He has never fought like that before. Is that really him, or did he just do that to get back the belts?
We don't know. Sorry to ask you a question. Like, I want to ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dillian Whyte? Listen, is Dillian Whyte like is Dillian Whyte vulnerable to the uppercut? Because someone said yesterday the same uppercut that Joshua hit him with back in 2015, of course, that knocked him out, is the same thing that Povetkin did. He timed it, but Joshua's own was different. Joshua, he caught the temple, and then he threw some accumulated punches and took him out, and then the uppercut landed last. But that was one that actually ripped Dillian Whyte off his feet. So do you think Dillian Whyte should start working on how to defend uppercuts?
Yeah, he needs to adopt. Well, it's a bit late for him. Well, he seems to be susceptible to an uppercut. Yes, and if you're open to that kind of punch, you need the Floyd Mayweather, George Foreman kind of defense, that Archie Moore kind of defense, where you have one arm horizontal across your chin and one arm up against the side of your face, because that's the only way you're going to protect against that, you see. But it seemed like, there's been a lot of time in between the Joshua fight and the Povetkin fight, whereas he was hurt in the Joshua fight badly. In this fight now, he's got a lot older, and he was just out. There was no movement whatsoever. So the ref just had to stop the fight instantly, you see. So I think he is open to that punch. He hasn't learned to defend against that properly, but what is worrying is the effects now as he's got older. With the Joshua fight, there were bad effects, but with this fight, he was just out, clean. I'd say this rematch will tell us so much, and I think what they will do, they will probably put the rematch on the undercard of Joshua's defense against Pulev, which is meant to be in December as well. And I think
Bro,
Dillian Whyte
the
won.
rematch itself is a pay per view, bro. I don't know why would you put on the undercut. I don't get it, bro.
Well, I think Eddie Hearn is looking to combine the two shows. You see, he
Nah,
will
man,
put.
nah, man. Nah, I don't think Dillian Whyte will allow. Dillian Whyte is his own man. I mean, why would he do that? That would be disgenerous in a way because the rematch itself is a pay per view. I don't mind pay. I wouldn't mind paying for it. I mean,
Well, Joshua's fight against Pulev is also a pay per view. You see, so I think if they can get the two fights on the one pay per view, rather than put them too close together, where people will probably buy one or the other, it may not make good business sense to do them too close to each other. You see, if they can get the two fights on the one pay per view and sell it as a really good pay per view card, I think it may sell more. I mean, that's the business side of it. I don't know how Eddie Hearn will do it, but I have a feeling if Dillian Whyte wants the rematch in December, and Joshua is meant to fight Pulev in December anyway, they may well combine the two shows. You see, but we will have to wait and see what the maestro, Mr. Hearn, decides to do.
now someone told me this morning. I spoke with Efetoba Apochi. Yeah, I did an interview with him. No, you guys who are watching right now, keep liking the video. The interview with Apochi, he reacted to Dillian Whyte's defeat, and him and Dillian Whyte, they are friends, and they've known each other way back. So, I mean, he said that Joshua is the number one heavyweight right now,
Yeah.
not Fury. What's your take on that? They said Joshua is a monster.
Look, Anthony Joshua has always been the number one heavyweight. Even when he lost to Andy Ruiz, he was still the number one in my book. Because until Ruiz beat him again, right? Unless Ruiz beat him again, then Ruiz, of course, will be the number one, most definitely. But Anthony Joshua, to me, has been the number one heavyweight from some time. He have won the belt from Charles Martin back in 2016. I can't remember exactly what year. I think it was 16, and he have defended it numerous times. And he had one blip, and he have avenged the blip on his record. Tyson Fury have got this shot at winning the WBC belt only because Wilder was trying to do what he normally does and avoid fighting Anthony Joshua. So Fury, you look at Fury when he announced his comeback. Fury fought.
Are you there, brother? I don't know if we lost our brother Robbie. Tajab, were you there?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I think we lost Robbie. So Robbie's gonna be back very soon. So you guys should stay tuned for more exclusive, bangers. You know what I mean?
Bracket as Anthony Joshua, in my opinion.
So now, what do you say to Robbie's suggestion? I mean, statement saying that Joshua is number one.
Robbie's back.
Oh, Robbie, you back?
I'm back here. I'm here now. Sorry, the connection is very bad. No, but ask the question out though. You can ask Ty, but the connection sometimes comes and goes where I'm here.
No problem. Come on, talk, bro. We're listening, bro.
Yeah, I was saying, look, I always felt Anthony Joshua was number one, based solely on the quality and standard of his opposition, who he have defended his belt against. He have fought his mandatories and quality voluntaries since being champ. He have done no one. He have made numerous offers, he and Eddie Hearn, to fight Deontay Wilder for all the belts, and they have turned it down. Tyson Fury have not done this. Tyson Fury have only got this shot at Deontay Wilder because Wilder was trying to avoid fighting Anthony Joshua. And when you look at when Tyson Fury took all these years out of the ring, and said he was unwell and what have you, when he came back, he fought Pianetta and Safari, these people who we've never heard of, and next thing you know, he's fighting Deontay Wilder. He got the draw against Deontay Wilder, then they fought the rematch and he beat Deontay Wilder. So that makes him number one. I don't think so. You look at the quality of opposition that Anthony Joshua have fought consistently since winning that belt from Charles Martin. No comparison whatsoever. That's my take on who is number one.
Oh, okay. Why do you think Tyson Fury fans keep hyping Tyson Fury up as a number one? And by the
Look,
way, other than Wilder and Klitschko, who has Fury fought?
this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Ray. You look on the guy's record. Who have he fought? He never gave Vladimir Klitschko the rematch. He never gave Vladimir Klitschko that rematch, which is a sad, sad thing, because Vladimir had a contract. He had the contract with a rematch clause in there, and then suddenly Fury said he got injured. Then he was medically unfit to fight the guy, and he never gave Klitschko the rematch. So Klitschko then was in a funny position where what can he do? So he waited a bit, and then the opportunity came, and Anthony Joshua's people said, well, look, Fury is not going to fight you. He's already said this. So we have the belts. If you want, you can fight us. And it made for a good fight, and he took the fight. Unfortunately, he lost Klitschko, you know. But Tyson Fury, if you look on Tyson Fury's record, you will not see any good names. You will see two good names, years separated between his victory over Klitschko and his victory over Deontay Wilder. Years have separated, and in between, who has he fought? No one. No one of any note. In fact, he didn't even take the rematch straight away. He went and had another mediocre opponent. I think it's that guy Schwartz, and he nearly lost to Schwartz on the cuts. Oh my God. And yet the Fury fans want to tell people he is number one. How is he number one? Look, if Fury fights Anthony Joshua and stops Anthony Joshua, whether it be in the first fight or the rematch, in my book, Fury is the number one heavyweight in the world. If he stops Anthony Joshua by any means, right, he's the number one. But until then, he can beat Deontay Wilder 5, 6, 7 times if he wants. He will still not be number one. To beat the number one, to be number one, you have to beat the number one. And Anthony Joshua is the number one. He's the man with all the belts, or most of them. So until Fury does that, he will never be number one. But and risk of contradicting myself, Anthony Joshua doesn't have to beat Fury to be number one. He's already number one.
Yeah, but Boss Rec has it different though. Boss Rec are saying now Fury. I mean, I don't just get it how you can rank someone that only has one belt as number one. I don't get it.
Look, we know about this madness that goes on in boxing. They had at some back in 2019, I think it was, they had Deontay. The WBC had Deontay Wilder as champion. They had Dillian Whyte as number one, and they had Dominic Brazil as number 4, and yet Dominic Brazil was the mandatory for Deontay Wilder rather than Dillian Whyte, who was ranked number 1. So how does that work? I don't know how BoxRec have come to this conclusion, Ray. I couldn't tell you. It doesn't make sense.
Now, Bob Arum, I want to ask you. I want to get your take on the Bob Arum statement. Bob Arum said that Dillian Whyte was so busy fighting for his WBC mandatory position that he didn't see Povetkin's uppercut, which knocked him cold on his ass. And He said, I continue, Pulev, Wikeo, and the Joshua Nest, London bridges are falling. What's the take on that, bro?
Look, it all comes down to the fact that slowly, and it's only a matter of time before America. And I do love America, by the way. Don't get me wrong. This is not an indictment against America or in any way, because I do love America. But I'm saying this is about America losing control of the heavyweight division, you see. And it's only a matter of time before this happens, because I don't believe Anthony Joshua will lose those belts, you see. And sooner or later, Mauricio Solomon is going to have to make the fight between whoever has the WBC belt and Anthony Joshua. And Bob Arum, I don't believe, has anyone at this time who can beat Anthony Joshua. I think he was hoping on Jarrell Miller, but then Jarrell Miller went and messed up again. So he has already said Jarrell Miller won't be handled by Top Rank. So then who does he have that at this time can beat Anthony Joshua and bring the heavyweight belts back to America? He has no one. So all he has to do is behave like Shelly Finkel and come out with the hate and hope that Anthony Joshua. I mean, why would you hope that the unified heavyweight champion, who we have not had for many years, who the heavyweight division has not had for many years, why would you hope the guy would lose? You see, you would hope there would be a good fight, but you see, he handles Pulev and he's hoping that Pulev wins and brings the belts back to America. But look, he knows that's not going to happen. Anthony Joshua was going to beat Pulev. He's going to stop Pulev. And Bob Arum is where is his heavyweight fighters? I don't think he has any that could beat Joshua anyway.
Well, but you're right though. I mean, we have to look at that. I mean, let me of course search for some comment on the live show right here, and let's see what they say, and then you can of course react to it. Someone is saying that Fury has the Ring Magazine belt. Who has the Ring Magazine? The person that has the Ring Magazine belt is number one. Out. I mean, what the hell? What kind of what do you say to that, brother?
Look, the person. Look, all right. They've given Fury that belt. Look, let's look on Fury's record and let's see if he's number one. Fury beaten.
Are you guys ready?
If you want to say you're number one, who have you beaten to become the?
Should we show you guys Fury record and Joshua record and compare them? Like those guys, I mean.
Oh no, Ray! Don't do that. Don't do that because look, I know, but it's no point doing that because Fury's record, I mean, it is about as poor as you can get. You see, Fury likes to win these big fights and then take many months off. And many years off, in fact, and then come back. And you see, Fury really, if you wanna lay Tyson Fury bare in this thing, right? When he was announced, when he wanted to make his comeback, right? He met with Eddie Hearn in Monaco, I think it was, south of France, somewhere there, and Eddie Hearn said to him, "Look, I'll give you a free fight deal. The first fight." If you sign with Matchroom, the first fight it can be against whoever you like because you've been out the ring for a while. It's slightly unfair that you fight a real live opponent having been out the ring for so long. Okay, and then the second fight would be against Tony Bellew, who was with Matchroom and was a heavyweight, but he was a lightish kind of heavyweight. He wasn't a big guy. He said, if you get through Tony Bellew, Dillian Whyte next. If you get through Dillian Whyte after that, then you can fight Anthony Joshua for all the belts. I guarantee you that. And that would be the biggest fight in English, British, UK history. And you know what? Tyson Fury fought too many hard names on that record. I'll go and sign with Frank Warren and fight Pianetta Safari, and then Frank Warren will talk to Shelly Bassey, and who doesn't want to fight Anthony Joshua anyway, and behind the scenes we'll do a deal, and he can fight Deontay Wilder. Yes, that's Tyson Fury, the Ring Magazine champion. I laugh in Chinese. Oh my God! I laugh in Japanese, my friend. I laugh in Japanese. Jesus!
Oh my God!
This thing is a comedy show, man. It's like a comedy show. Oh my God!
Listen, guys. We love Fury. I love Fury. I think he's a very good fight. He's a phenomenal fighter. No doubt about that. I just don't like the way he behaves sometimes, but as a fighter, you can never take that away from him. He's very, very good. But saying that Fury destroyed Anthony Joshua is not even
No, no,
Correct. Okay. No,
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 no, not
no.
happening. Not Fury. For Fury to destroy Joshua, Fury have to maybe, I don't know what he has to do to destroy Joshua. You
I
know,
don't. No, no. He
is
won't destroy
I,
Joshua.
I I
No
don't see
way.
it happening. He might go. He might win a point. Okay, he has the ability to win a point if he that's if he wins. But to destroy Joshua like he did to Water, not happening because Joshua,
No,
first of all, is not like Deontay Water who does not have basic boxing skills. Okay,
no, 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 no. Listen,
it's not
at
even
some
the same.
stage, Anthony Joshua is gonna hit Tyson Fury, and I don't know how good
Wait,
that's gonna go.
listen? I don't want to undermine. I don't want to undermine Bob Arum's statement saying that Pulev we beat Anthony, we knocked Joshua out. How realistic is that though?
No, I don't think it's a realistic at all. Did Pulev? I can't remember Pulev's record now, but did he fight Huey Fury? I think was it
Yeah,
Huey
yeah, yeah.
Fury for?
He fought Huey Fury.
Yeah.
He fought. This guy's record is very laughable, man. I can't help
This is
but
what
laugh
I'm
at it.
saying, Ty.
I can't help but laugh at his record. Listen,
I'm so
yes,
glad Ty is on the call. I was just going to ask if Ty was on the call. I'm so glad you come in and
the
said
guy
that.
has a decent skill, a jab at best, but the guy is slow. Listen, I looked at Pulev's resume and I'm wondering why doesn't he have Old Man Ortiz on his resume? Why
Yeah,
doesn't he have even a Chris Areola on his resume?
exactly.
He missed. It's like he ducked half the heavyweight division. You know, I don't. He doesn't even have this guy Alexander Povetkin on his resume. You
No,
know,
no.
okay. Let's not get it twisted. The guy is tough, but has he faced an opponent like AJ? Watch AJ has been going hard on his training because
Yes,
he's gonna deal a devastating blow to Pulev because
yes.
I watched that fight with Bogdan Danu and that was not an impressive fight, and I picked up a lot of things that I see AJ doing, which AJ will be going to the body of Pulev. He is terrible when you go to the body of his when you go to the body, and let's not get started when AJ is the master of cuts, and once he cuts you open, he's gonna
Yes,
finish you. You know,
exactly.
he's been known to cut a lot of boxes more than one occasion. He cut Andy Ruiz just in the second round alone.
Yes.
So he's
And
gonna finish
you have
you.
to ask the question: how has Pulev got a number one ranked position with the what is it, the WBA or is it the IB? I can't remember.
IBF.
IB.
IBF.
How has he got that position as number one with a resume like that?
Who did
I
he
don't
get
know.
it from? I believe he got it from.
But if we should be truthful though, I think Pulev has one of the best heavyweight jabs though.
Oh yeah, he does. He absolutely has a good hit. He has a
He
good
has one of
jab,
the best
but
jabs in
he has a good jab.
in
But
the heavyweight
who
division.
has he
I
tested
mean,
that jab on other than
Yeah,
Klitschko?
exactly.
Which Klitschko dictated that
he
jab.
tried it against Vladimir Klitschko, but
Yeah,
he got caught.
he got dropped like 5 times
He,
in a match, 5 times, and destroyed. That was it. That was the only
Look,
thing we know about Pulev.
the guy have not fought anyone like AJ, and this is going to be a very big awakening for him. You see, and I just worry how this guy have got this number one rank position based on fighting who? I don't understand. This is who Bob Arum thinks is going to be AJ. You see, Bob Arum, I think, is hoping that Pulev wins the fight because with a mandatory, there's no rematch clause in a mandatory. You see, so whoever wins the fight gets the belts, and there's no rematch. You see, so he's hoping that Pulev wins the fight, and the belts go back to America, and then AJ has no choice but to regroup himself doing other things. You see, but I don't understand. No, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, Vivian Vlog said, I don't think AJ is the number one. I don't think AJ is the number one at the moment, though he was before he got battered by Andrews. I mean, what do you mean by that? Like, I mean, listen, it's not about, listen, because someone lose a fight doesn't make them, does not make you no longer number one. I mean, you have to look at the resume. What makes you number one is the resume, okay?
Of
The
course,
record. Not
definitely.
anybody can say I'm undefeated. By the way, if we should look at our brother right here, Ikebi Abuchi, the way he was the first guy to beat David Tua, the first guy to beat up Chris Bird, who later became heavyweight world champion. You know what I mean? So now Chris Bird on paper is looked at as a much better fighter than Ikebi Abuchi, but Ikebi Abuchi knocked Chris Bird out.
Yes.
Cold. Not he knocked Chris Bird out, but Americans would tell you, oh, Chris Bird is better than Ikebi Abuchi. Ikebi Abuchi is undefeated. Nobody beat him.
Exactly.
So just because someone is, even Mike Tyson docked Ikebi Abuchi. Even Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was offered the fight. He docked Ikebi Abuchi. Ikebi Abuchi was the hottest, guy at that time, just because he was not American. So a lot of people overlooked him. But let's not forget, he's the only man, the first man to beat David Tua and went toe to toe with him. Nobody did that. Nobody went toe to toe with David Tua. Ikebi Abuchi did it, and he came out victorious. I think they threw more than 1,500 punches, right? In that bout. Like 1,500 punches. Like, that's crazy punches for heavyweights. So,
Look,
what are you guys saying?
Look, if
He say because he got beat by Andrews, then he's no longer number one.
Let
What do you
me
think
add
makes
to
someone
that.
number one?
Let me add to that. You see, the reason Tyson is number one, it's all about circumstances and chances. Deontay Wilder,
exactly.
at the time had nobody on his resume, and Tyson Fury was calling out Deontay Wilder. And what would a Wilder who had nobody on his resume, what would he do? He saw Tyson Fury as a fat, overweight guy. Or if he comes back, he's gonna have ring rust. I'm gonna take advantage of that. I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna be known as the guy who beat Tyson Fury. I'm gonna be in the middle. I'm gonna be the number one. So AJ has to come to see me, and I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna hold all the credibility and have all the options in getting more money. But it didn't pan out for Wilder, and Tyson Fury beat him. Right?
Yes.
And that's how Tyson Fury is able to get the Ring magazine and be. Let's not forget, everybody said Wilder sucked. All of a sudden, Tyson beat him, and Wilder is this amazing guy. Oh, he can,
exactly.
Tyson Fury's not praising him. Oh, he's good.
Yes.
AJ's not gonna beat him. It's all about luck and circumstances. That's how Tyson Fury got in there. AJ has said it over and over again how I'm going to beat Deontay Wilder, but Tyson Fury got there first. People were able to hurt Wilder, but they just couldn't finish off Wilder. That is what was the case.
Exactly.
Wilder would eventually land, and that was the end of it. And Tyson Fury was able to finish him off.
And if they thought Tyson Fury was any threat whatsoever to Deontay Wilder, they would never have fought this guy. Never. No way. The only way, as you say, Ty, the only reason they fought him is because they thought this was some fat, overweight guy who'd been doing drugs, and there's no way he's any risk to us. That's why they fought him.
Yes, for sure. Let's also compare. By the way, is Tyson Fury a two-time heavyweight world champion? I don't think so.
Yes, he is. He's two-time. Well,
Okay. How can you be two-time and you've never defended a belt once?
Well, he have won it twice. He have won it on two separate occasions.
On what circumstances? Let's compare now.
Well, the record books will show he beat Vladimir Klitschko and won the unit.
And then went took cocaine. You know what I mean? Did
coke
and other stuff.
And then he came back after years and he beat Deontay Wilder.
He took cocaine. He got tested positive for one drug like that, and then went out and then
let's not forget he did get tested for the Drolone too in the Fury the Klitschko fight. That's one of the reasons.
Bribe the farmer as well. The farmer that was bribed. That was the bro. Listen, Joshua's record is the cleanest in boxing right now as we speak. Okay, apart from Canelo. After Canelo, Joshua's record is the cleanest. No, oh,
Look,
Canelo also has scandal. Okay, well, there's also drug scandal there. You know what I mean? Joshua remains the cleanest athlete right now. You know, no doubt about
look.
it.
If these guys feel that Tyson Fury is number one, right? Then Tyson Fury should have no problem signing the contracts that Eddie Hearn will give to him after he defeats Deontay Wilder. They should have no problem making this fight. But you look and see, right, what's going to happen. Anthony Joshua is going to beat Pulev. Tyson Fury is going to beat he's going to beat Deontay Wilder, I believe. And then when it comes to making the two fight, you will see problems. Believe me, you will see problems. Because you see, if you look at Tyson Fury's character, he is not a guy who likes taking these challenges back to back like this, you know. No. And you watch, he will not be in a rush to fight Anthony Joshua. Believe me.
Yes, I mean you're right, brother. You do. So now let's switch to another subject. Okay, now Dillian Whyte lost. It is sad that he did, and I hope he comes back and reclaim his his position. Now, what do you guys think about the upcoming potential bout between Usyk, Alexander Usyk, and Derek Del Boy Chisora?
Well, can you hear me? This connection is going to be bad again.
Yes, bro. Yeah, I can hear you, bro. I can hear you.
No, this connection is gone, I think.
I can hear you, bro. I can hear you.
Yeah, I think his connection is gone.
Yeah, his connection is. You can come back again, bro. Let me pull you back. So, what do you think?
Sorry, guys. I don't know if you can hear me. This connection is gone.
I can hear you, but I think you can hear us. So,
hold on.
Ty.
Yeah, we can hear you, Robbie.
Sorry, sorry, guys. The connect.
Ty, what is your take on the potential upcoming bout between?
I know Derek Chisora. I know he's fueled, and he is extremely excited. And you know what? His chances of winning is very likely. We're not going to count him out. You know, he has David Hay by his side. And what Derek Chisora needs to know, that he needs to come in shape, absolutely come in shape for this fight. Not those regular shape that he comes in against in his past, because when he fought Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora was a nobody. I'm just going to be straight up honest. He was a nobody. But it seemed like he's a fighter that got better and realized his own potential, right? And with that being said, I think if he comes in shape, in a good amount of shape, because he needs to be in shape for Usyk. Usyk will frustrate the hell out of Chisora if he comes in at 260, 270. He will frustrate the hell out of Chisora. Chisora is already slow at it as it is. You know what he has going for himself is just those heavy hands that he has. That's about it. Chisora is already slow, so Chisora needs to come in absolute gritty shape to be able to continuously throw those big long range punches, the one that he dealt with Arthur Spilker, right? Those are so he needs to come in shape for that. If he does that correctly and comes in shape, because he needs to be able to throw a lot of volume of punches to be able to keep Usyk at bay, to at least to have Usyk say, I can't really come in to Derek Chisora and land because he's gonna hurt me. Oh, I can't be up against the rope with Derek Chisora or I'm gonna get hurt. You know, if I'm gonna meet him, it's gotta be in the middle of the ring. That has to be Usyk's only choice. And Derek Chisora, I personally believe he needs to be on the back foot, leading Usyk in for a trap. Once he leads Usyk in for a trap, turn him around and lead him up against the ropes and unleash on him. That is the plan for Derek Chisora. Or if not, if he comes in those the shape that he usually does and thinks, oh, let me just get lucky with this powerful right hand that I did with Arthur Spilka, it's not gonna work. Usyk will frustrate you, and your chances of the likelihood of you quitting on the stool is gonna be very high, or he's gonna ride you out up until the 12th round. Take it from Tony Bellew. Hopefully, he calls in Tony Bellew for his camp, but that's the way it's got to be for Derek Chisora.
Yeah, man, I have to also agree with you there. I think Usyk Chisora is going to be a very interesting bout, because I believe that Chisora, people already look at him like a guy that is going to lose, but I believe Chisora has the mental capability to pull up a very great upset right here. When Fury fought Chisora, okay, the first fight was a very brutal fight. But Fury has always been a fighter that used the range. You know what I mean? He's always know that he's been doing that for a long time. But let's not forget when Fury fought McDermott, he lost that first fight. We know that. I mean, if you're a boxing fan, go rewatch that fight. You know Fury lost that first fight. But in the second fight, he won it. No doubt about it. Let's keep it right there. I know you love Fury a lot. Mr. Matchroom invented sport, so it's just the fact right here. So thanks to everyone.
The Matchroom, whatever, invented sport. When was Derek Chisora ever in his prime? Derek Chisora was never in his prime. He never saw his potential. The Derek Chisora now could beat the old Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora was a garbage fighter back then. Don't try to say, oh, because Tyson Fury has him on his record, he's good. I see what you guys Tyson Fury fans are doing. When we say AJ has the best resume, you guys want to bring Derek Chisora in. Cut the bullshit out. Derek Chisora was not good when he fought Tyson Fury. Derek Chisora went back to less than a month, went back into another fight. What kind of fighter does that? Like, come on, use your head. Saying Derek Chisora was that good. Derek Chisora
Fury did not beat McDermott in the first fight. Fury did not beat him. Let's keep it right.
These Fury fans, they're so deluded.
McDermott won that fight. Go watch it. Go rewatch that fight again. The first fight. Second bout, he won. No doubt about it. But first bout, no. He lost that fight. He lost it. He got gifted that fight because he was like the guy. He was seen as the future. I mean, Fury is a very good fighter. No doubt about it. He's a very good fighter. He's very skillful, but he's not a legend yet, man. He needs to do more.
Yeah, you're gonna say
so, guys.
The Tyson Fury didn't get dropped by a cruiserweight. Please, come on, man.
Tyson Fury got dropped by Steve Cunningham, a cruiserweight. So let's not even go there. Let's not go there. Tyson Fury has been dropped far more than Joshua has been dropped. Let's keep it real. By lesser guys. At least Joshua got dropped by Andrews Jr., who is arguably one of the fastest heavyweight in the world, if not the fastest. Can you show me any heavyweight faster like than Andrews Jr.?
Derek Chisora went 12 rounds with Robert Helenius. Like, come on, you don't. These guys, they try to make it seem like Derek Chisora was dangerous. Derek Chisora was not a dangerous fighter back then. Come on.
The same guy. You guys are calling Ruiz Jr. like a fat middleweight. Ruiz Jr. has never been a middleweight. He's always been an heavyweight. And also, Ruiz Jr. against Fury will be a very dangerous fight for Fury. He might even stop Fury. You heard it here. He might stop Fury. If Otto Wallin can bust up Tyson Fury, Otto Wallin, who is not known as a power puncher, who is not fast, hand speed, he has a very slow hand speed. You want to compare that to Andrews Jr., who's got the fastest hands in boxing in every division. Don't even go there. He will give anybody problem. I mean, we saw the Joseph Parker fight. People are just saying that Reginald won that fight. They say he won it. They say
That guy's
so.
terrible, man.
Wally won't stop AJ. Well,
That's what I
AJ beat
mean.
AJ beat Wally in the amateurs. Remember, you forgot that.
You see what I mean? The Tyson Fury fans, they want to do
AJ
it.
beat Wally so bad. Wally even knows it. Wally came out recently saying that Joshua is the hardest puncher he's ever been with. That Fury doesn't know how to punch. Fury can punch, but he doesn't punch hard. So you have to understand that. Put respect on AJ's name. AJ remain number one. Okay, I'm not saying Fury is not good. Fury, by the time Fury defended his titles, like maybe he defended for a long time, maybe have maybe 6-7 defense against credible opponents, then we can start hyping the guy up. Other than that, like if he doesn't do that, no, man, the guy is not even close. Not even close. But we'll see what happens. I know you're a Fury fan, so everybody's welcome. Everybody can support whoever support. But I'm just saying that Fury is nowhere near what you guys are thinking he is. He's good. He's talented. He's skillful, but not close. So, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. We'll be right back live to talk about Anthony Joshua and the King next move, because Joshua is still in training right now as we speak. That guy is the most dedicated athlete in the whole universe. I repeat, that guy is the most dedicated athlete in the whole universe. Nobody even come close. No, nobody go close. Nobody. The guy trains even in his sleep. Even while he's sleeping, he trains. He keeps training even while he's sleeping. That shows you how dedicated that guy is. Now, let's see what these guys have to say here before I vote. Where? I mean, I'm seeing so many comments right here, and some are just saying, I don't know what to say, man. I there are some things I want to say here, but let me just, hush for a little bit. Yes, this guy is right. He said, look, I want you to, I don't understand. Look, I want you to know that, I want you to know that AJ is the most dangerous boxer in the world. Okay, we have someone coming in. There's somebody new here. Let me see. J-Boy to the stream. Hello?
Yo, hello.
Yeah, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Not bad. Still.
Olajide, right?
Yep.
So Olajide, I mean, I've been trying to get in touch with you, but
No, I've been quite busy now. Yeah.
Yeah. You're quite busy. I understand that. Now, your take on Dillian Whyte's lost one to Povetkin.
Take on Dillian Whyte first, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's one of those things that can happen, right? And to be fair to you, I saw this coming, because I remember when Michael Hunter won Dillian, to take it serious and be very careful, or if possible, not take it at all, because it's got things to lose, right? And I remember AJ as well putting the warnings, but I think Dillian cannot overlook the warnings signs, and I feel like Dillian was too confident now, seeing him knock him down twice, but he wasn't cooked enough yet. He wasn't even cooked at all yet. And I believe that's where Dillian, that's where the downfall came in, because, you knock someone down twice in a round, and the following round, he knocked you back up. It's a bit, it's quite devastating. It's a crazy loss for him, but. So So that's just what I think, because when you're fighting somebody, this is the same line mistake AJ made last year as well, knocking on the race down and but thinking it was done. And I think it's quite the same thing. But the sleep of Povetkin as well was mad as well. And looking at it, that was the same shot, that was the same uppercut that buckled AJ when Povetkin fought AJ. But this time around, it didn't buckle Dillian. It knocked Davis back out. So I feel for Dillian though, but I feel like I think it's just one of those setbacks as well, and hopefully, he takes the rematch, and which I believe is requested for, to pick the rematch out, just to pick his spot back up. It's a disappointing loss for Dillian, to be honest, because most of us here are not really happy with it, but it is something we see coming. And I would have said one thing: if I was Dillian, I would not take that fight. But it's just one of the things they try to fight the best, right? So I just cannot wish him the best, but I just believe it's a lesson. And I think Dillian as well, I wouldn't say overlook Povetkin, but Dillian was a lot more focused on fighting Fury than this. And that's another thing that probably cost Dillian more. So that's just it.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it. And for those of you guys who have been watching, I appreciate all of you guys. For those of you guys who liked the video, didn't like it, or didn't subscribe, all of you guys, thanks. And to my Nigerian brothers and sisters, not doing too much worldwide, I appreciate the support. As usual, God bless you all. Cheers, guys.